Hello everyone, it is me, Dr. Laserbeam, and this is League of Legends 101, where I go over certain parts of the game, League of Legends. Today we'll be going over how to play Morgana, the fallen angel, or as I like to call her, my ex-girlfriend. That I never had. Morgana is a mid/support mage who excels at facing heavy AP teams and who can be built as a nuker daddy or as a surprisingly versatile support. Pros to Morgana are she deals huge amounts of damage, good CC, great poke, good kill potential, good peel, very good versus heavy AP teams, and fairly easy to learn. Cons to Morgana are she has no sustain, skill shot reliant, long cooldowns, little mobility, and has short range. Morgana works well with ADCs that thrive with kill lane supports, or in addition to Morg's damage, also have a lot of damage themselves during the laning phase. Such ADCs are Draven, Jinx, Tristana, and Sivir. Morgana, if in mid lane, works well with other champions that go hard in the paint, diving into the enemy team after Morgana gives her shield to her teammate or binds to an enemy. Such champions are Amumu, Sion, Sejuani, and Katarina. Morgana is strong against ADCs with little defense or have weak mobility, such as Misfortune, Kog'Maw, Quinn, and Ashe. Morgana is strong against supports that are very skill shot oriented or are very squishy without a heal. Such supports are Blitzcrank, Braum, Janna, and Annie. Morgana is strong against mid laners who are AP and kit depend on the effects of their abilities to CC their lane. Such mid laners are LeBlanc, Malzahar, Annie, and Karthus. Morgana is weak against ADCs who are able to avoid Morgana's CC with ease. Such ADCs are Sivir, Lucian, Graves, and Caitlyn. Morgana is weak against supports that can get past Morgana's defense or can stay far away from being close to Morgana and still do their role well. Such supports are Karma, Sona, and Soraka. Morgana is weak against mid laners who go hard in the paint and are also AD or have a lot of mobility. Such champions are Zed, Talon, Yasuo, and Fizz. For Morgana's runes, I suggest going flat AP runes along with some tanky runes if going support. If going mid, just go flat AP again and possibly add some penetration runes if the enemy team is tanky. For Morgana's masteries, you should put most of your points into offense if going mid. If support, go mostly into utility and some into offense. The first thing you should get as Morgana is a Spell Thief's Edge, health pots, and a warding totem. If going mid, switch out Spell Thief's Edge for a Doran's Ring. The must-have items for Morgana would be a Sightstone and Zhonya's Hourglass. Obviously Sightstone only if going support. If you plan on being aggressive as a support, items to consider would be Righteous Glory, Rabadon's Deathcap, Twin Shadows, Abyssal Scepter, and the Ionian Boots of Lucidity. If you plan on being defensive as a support, items to consider would be Mikhail's Crucible, Locket of the Iron Solari, Banshee's Veil, Banner of Command, Randuin's Omen, and Boots of Mobility. If you're going mid, items to consider in general would be Rabadon's Deathcap, Luden's Echo, a Fiend's Unholy Grail, Void Staff, Rod of Ages, Lysandre's Torment, and Sorcerer's Shoes. Your build should be focused on damage, cooldowns, and utility. Now onto Morgana's abilities. First we have her passive, Soul Siphon. Soul Siphon gives Morgana 10% spell vamp at the start of the game and increasing to 20% by level 13. Now, the thing you need to understand about this passive is absolutely nothing. Not only does spell vamp suck in general, but Morgana's build never calls for additional spell vamp items in the first place. Ignore his passive altogether unless you're going for the always so hipster spell vamp Morgana mid/top build. Next, we have Morgana's Q, which is Dark Binding. Morgana shoots some black voodoo magic in a straight line. If the black voodoo magic hits an enemy, they are rooted for 2 seconds and have a chance to be reported for AFK. This ability is deadly and absolutely terrifying to be threatened with due to its great 90% skill ratio off your AP. As a mid laner, if you hit an enemy with this ability, they will lose a huge chunk of their health off the bat and will allow you to beat them up as they are rooted. As a support, this can be used to poke down your enemy and deal massive amounts of damage considering your ADC is near to capitalize off your root. For both support and mid, however, this ability is amazing for catching someone out or for running and gunning reasons. By far, this is truly Morgana's butter to her bread, which I shall talk about later. On to Morgana's W, which is Tormented Soil. Morgana curses an area with Elo Hell, causing any enemies in the area to take magic damage. The damage is increased for how much health the target is missing. This ability as mid laner is used to soften up minions before you last hit them. As a support, it can be used as an easy way to get gold with your Spell Feast Edge if you find it hard to land your Q or basic attacks. For both roles, however, this ability is used to add to insult to injury when you land your Q on somebody. This wombo combo roots your target, forces them to stay in the area for the longer they stay, the more damage they take, and allows your ADC, jungler, or hell even both to finish off the job. This ability is best used against low HP targets or any enemy champion stuck in a certain area. Now onto Morgana's E, which is Black Shield. Morgana gives herself or an ally a shield, making them immune to any magic damage or crowd control effects for a certain amount of damage. This ability is a lifesaver no matter which lane you go. This ability in mid lane can be used to protect yourself from getting ganked or taking damage while in lane. In bot lane, this can be used to save your silly ADC or silly old you if you're about to get hooked by an enemy or hit by a magic ability. This can also be used aggressive, such as giving the ally a shield before they go hard into the enemy team. If in team fights, this should be used to protect your carries or yourself if you are the carry. Last, we have Morgana's ult, which is Soul Shackles. Morgana sends out chains of energy to the 2 closest enemies near her. Upon attachment to the target, it deals magic damage, slows them, and gives vision of the target. If the target fails to get away from Morgana, they are stunned and take more magic damage. This ability is great in teamfights as well as punishing people who are caught out. Since Morgana is squishy, Zhonya's is a must-have for this ability to be effective. It's not the best idea to use this at the start of a teamfight, but rather in the middle of one. Basically, get close to your targets and ult. Stick to them as long as you can. If you get focused, use zonas to save yourself. Your ult has a nice range and the target should be stunned, allowing your team to clean up. Now for the laning phases of Morgana. During the early game, Morgana's role as a support is to land her Qs and then follow up with her W. If being defensive, Q anyone who gets too close to your ADC and give your ADC your shield if they're trying to go in or if they're about to get caught. If you are mid, just farm, poke, repeat till your 6 or a jungler is near. At this point, try land your Q and go ham if you succeed. During the mid game, Morgana's role is still the same as early if the lanes are in general not grouping up. Of course, if you're a support, you should be warding around Dragon and that Baron. If your team is grouping up, however, your job is to stay behind your front line, only going up close to try and land your Q. Late game is the same as mid game, but by now you should be a demon from hell, unless you're a support of course. Nuke anyone who opposes you by landing your Q and make your enemies absolutely terrified of getting anywhere close to you. Make sure to give anyone on your team your shield who may need it also. For spells, I suggest Flash plus Exhaust or Flash plus Ignite. This has been League of Legends 101. Let me know if you found this video to be helpful, and for all you Morgana players out there, let's get some people reported for AFK.